For more perspective on this case, let's bring in Joshua Skule, a former executive director for intelligence at the FBI, also currently president of Bowwave. It's a national security consulting firm. Joshua, thank you so much for being with us. So here we have yet another manhunt. Talk about the strategy that goes into a manhunt in such a large metro area, because of course it's different from what we saw with Danelo Cavalcante. That was in very open, very rough terrain.
Right, Nicole. So the biggest difference is in Pennsylvania, Cavalcante didn't really have access to a network, a support network. Here, he does. He's a short distance from Virginia, where he was recently arrested. He has family, friends in the area. Clearly, he committed this violent crime in the district, so likely has associates there. Access, as Evan had mentioned, to regional transit, vehicles, and the likes to get out of the area. So that's what I think is a big difference.
You know, and we saw in the video there, when he escaped, it was during that handcuff change. So he still has a set of handcuffs, as far as we know, attached to his wrist there. As you said, you know, this is an area where he has friends, may have family. Do you think he's getting help?
I do believe he's getting help. And I think that's a double-edged sword. There's a large reward out for him. So anybody that is not his friend or is looking to collect on that reward, he has to place his faith, trust, and confidence in them, making sure that none of their associates report him. But also it provides him a level of support, whether it's to get out of the area, just to get home in Northern Virginia. As far as the handcuff goes, I don't think we can rule it in or rule it out. It's not that hard to find a bolt cutter to clip that. And certainly if you're getting support, that could be gone. His clothes obviously will have been changed, and he's probably out of the area.
You know, and Joshua, he is a murder suspect. We know as of right now he has not been convicted. But again, suspected in this murder. We heard from the mother of his alleged victim. Just talk about the potential danger that he poses to the public right now.
Well, I don't think we can just look at the most recent charges of murder, which are obviously heinous, but it also go back into his history, where he was charged several years ago with trying to assault, or not trying, actually assaulting the police. He tried to run them down in his vehicle. Officers had to move out of the way before being run over. And then he fled the scene when he was stopped after that assault. So this is somebody that is very dangerous, elusive, and law enforcement and the public have to be on their game when they go to arrest him.
Absolutely. You say he's very dangerous. You know, certainly he's elusive. We're now in at least day 5 of this search. We saw how it ended with Cavalcante. How do you think this ends with Christopher Haynes?
Well, I think law enforcement are tracking him. They've checked all the videotape from the surrounding areas. They certainly have videotape from any of the nearby bus stations, any regional transit, and they're going after his network. So they'll be interviewing friends and others. I think there'll be a tip that comes in that reveals him, somebody looking to collect on the reward, and I think that will lead to his demise. At least that's been in my experience. Tips, and of course, media coverage. You can't undervalue the level of coverage that you guys are providing to bring him to justice.
Yeah, and we certainly hope he will be brought to justice very soon. All right, Joshua Skule, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.